Good evening, and welcome. Tonight, we will travel together through one of the longest and most fascinating stories ever told, the story of human evolution. Not as a fast documentary, not as a lecture, but as a slow, peaceful journey through deep time. A journey through ancient forests, forgotten oceans, glowing campfires, and endless starlit skies. So find a comfortable position. Allow your shoulders to soften, relax your jaw, and let your breathing slow naturally. There is nowhere else to be right now. Only this quiet moment and the ancient story of how humans came to exist. As the night grows calm around you, we begin millions of years ago, long before the first human being existed, before cities, before language, before memory itself. The Earth was already ancient. Imagine the planet nearly 4.5 billion years ago. Its surface was violent and glowing. Volcanoes erupted endlessly into dark skies. Molten rock flowed like rivers of fire. Asteroids crashed into the young planet again and again. There were no oceans yet, no trees, no animals, only heat, stone, steam, and time. And slowly, over millions of years, the Earth began to cool. Rain fell for centuries, perhaps for thousands of years without stopping. The rain filled enormous basins, forming the first oceans. Lightning flashed above endless water, and somewhere in those ancient seas, chemistry began turning into biology. Tiny molecules combined, simple structures formed, and eventually, the first living cells appeared. Small, fragile, microscopic. Yet these tiny organisms would become the ancestors of every living thing that has ever existed, including you. Imagine those early oceans beneath dark blue skies. No birds singing, no human sounds, only waves moving slowly against empty shores. Life remained simple for a very long time. For billions of years, microscopic organisms drifted through ancient seas. But evolution never truly stops. Tiny changes continued accumulating generation after generation. Some organisms learned to use sunlight for energy. Photosynthesis began filling the atmosphere with oxygen, and slowly the Earth transformed. The skies changed color, the oceans changed chemistry, the planet became capable of supporting more complex life. Then, after unimaginable stretches of time, multicellular organisms appeared. Life began experimenting with shape and movement. Soft-bodied creatures drifted through shallow seas. Then came fish. Then plants spread across land. Forests emerged. Insects buzzed through prehistoric air. And eventually, giant reptiles dominated the earth. Dinosaurs. For more than 160 million years, dinosaurs ruled the planet. Imagine enormous creatures moving across fern-covered landscapes, towering long-necked giants feeding from treetops, predators stalking through misty forests. The Earth during the age of dinosaurs was warm, green, and alive, with sounds unfamiliar to modern ears. And while dinosaurs dominated the surface, small mammals waited quietly in the shadows. Tiny nocturnal creatures, soft fur, bright eyes, quick movements. Most were no larger than mice. No one looking at them would ever guess they carried the future of humanity within them. But evolution works patiently, very patiently. And then came one of the most important moments in Earth's history. Around 66 million years ago, an asteroid struck the planet. The impact was catastrophic. Firestorms spread, dust darkened the skies, temperatures changed rapidly, and the dinosaurs slowly disappeared. But many small mammals survived, hidden underground, protected in burrows, adaptable and resilient. And with the great reptiles gone, Mammals began expanding into new environments: forests, grasslands, mountains. Evolution opened new doors, and eventually, among those mammals came the first primates, the earliest ancestors of monkeys, apes, and humans. Life in the trees. Now imagine ancient tropical forests millions of years ago. Warm rain falls gently through enormous leaves. Sunlight filters through dense green canopies. Birds call in the distance. Insects hum softly in the humid air. And high above the forest floor, small primates move carefully among the branches. These early primates developed features that would become deeply important in human evolution: forward-facing eyes, flexible shoulders, grasping hands. Unlike many other animals, primates relied heavily on vision. Judging distance between branches required depth perception. Their hands became increasingly skilled at gripping and climbing. Over time, their brains also grew larger relative to body size. Life in the trees rewarded memory and coordination. A primate that remembered where fruit grew had an advantage. One that could navigate branches efficiently survived more easily. And so, intelligence slowly expanded. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but little by little across millions of years. Imagine generations passing beneath rainforest skies, mothers carrying infants through branches, groups grooming one another quietly in afternoon sunlight, young primates learning by observation. Even here, in these ancient forests, the roots of human social behavior were beginning. Friendship, cooperation, communication, emotion, all evolving slowly. Some primates eventually became monkeys, others became apes, and among the apes, one branch would someday lead toward humanity. But at this point in time, the future remained completely unknown. Evolution has no destination, only change, only adaptation, only endless experiments shaped by survival and environment. And in Africa, environments were beginning to change. Walking upright. Several million years ago, parts of Africa became cooler and drier. Forests began shrinking. Grasslands spread across the landscape. For some ancient apes, life in the trees became more difficult. And gradually, some spent more time on the ground. Walking upright may have started as a small adaptation. Standing on two legs allowed individuals to see above tall grass. It freed the hands for carrying food or infants. It may also have helped conserve energy during long-distance movement. At first, these early hominins still climbed trees often. Their bodies were transitional, part ape, part something new. Imagine them moving across golden savannas beneath vast open skies. The air warm, wind moving through tall grass, distant thunder echoing across the plains, predators watching from afar. Life was dangerous, yet generation after generation, upright walking improved. Spines curved differently, pelvises reshaped, legs lengthened, feet developed arches, and eventually, bipedalism became one of humanity's defining traits. Walking on two legs changed everything. The hands became available for entirely new possibilities, holding objects, using tools, carrying resources over long distances, and perhaps most importantly, interacting socially in more complex ways. These early ancestors were still far from modern humans, but evolution had begun steering towards something extraordinary. A species capable of reflection, imagination, science, and dreams. Lucy and the ancient world, around 3.2 million years ago, lived one of the most famous early human ancestors. Lucy, a member of the species Australopithecus afarensis. Imagine Lucy waking before sunrise, cool air drifting across the savanna, birds beginning their morning calls. She moves with her group through scattered trees and open grassland, searching for fruit, seeds, roots, always alert, always aware of danger. Large cats roam nearby. Hyenas move across the plains. Survival requires cooperation. Lucy's species walked upright, yet still retained traits useful for climbing. Evolution rarely changes everything at once. Instead, old traits and new traits overlap. A slow blending across generations. Lucy's brain was much smaller than a modern human brain, yet her species already showed important changes in posture and movement. Imagine the rhythm of daily life, traveling together, resting beneath shade trees, caring for young, watching storms gather across distant horizons. At night, perhaps sitting quietly beneath stars brighter than anything visible in modern cities. The universe above them, ancient and silent. And though Lucy could never imagine the future, her descendants would one day build civilizations, study galaxies, compose music, and wonder about their own origins, all from beginnings this humble. The first tools, around 2.6 million years ago, something remarkable appeared. The first known stone tools, simple sharp flakes created by striking rocks together. To modern eyes, they may seem crude, but they represented a profound evolutionary leap. Tools extend the abilities of the body. Sharp stones could cut meat more efficiently. Bones could be opened for nutritious marrow. Plants could be processed more easily. These extra calories may have supported the growth of larger brains. Imagine an early human ancestor sitting beside a riverbank, carefully striking one stone against another, watching fragments break away, learning through trial and error. Perhaps young members of the group observe closely. Knowledge begins passing socially, no longer dependent only on instinct. Now behavior itself can evolve through learning. This is one of humanity's greatest strengths. Culture, the ability to transmit information across generations, and slowly, human intelligence expands further. And now, our long journey through time begins to fade softly into the night. The ancient oceans grow quiet. The forests drift into mist. The campfires burn low beneath distant stars. Generation after generation, countless lives carried humanity forward through millions of years. And tonight, you are part of that endless story, a living continuation of ancient life, made from stardust, oceans, memory, and time. So allow your thoughts to grow soft now. Let your breathing become slow and peaceful. And as sleep gently arrives, remember this: the universe spent billions of years creating the conditions for conscious life. And somehow, after all that time, here you are. Rest now and drift peacefully into sleep.